What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. My name is Knackers. Today is May 1st, 2022. This is episode number 177. Tonight I have BishopGP and MiddleAgedStream on the show. What's going on, guys? Never mind, I don't give a fuck. Let's get into talking about some shit like it's Modelo time. What are we drinking tonight, boys? Just kidding, I don't give a fuck. What games have you guys been playing? No, let's talk about drinks really quick. Let's get right into it.
Well, I think Bishop's probably drinking something.
Oh my God.
He's drinking a Ricky Martin.
What does that mean?
She bangs.
I'm having a bang rainbow unicorn super.
Did you really not get that joke? It's a Ricky Martin.
That was really good.
R. Kelly, man.
Thank you. I just came up with that.
Ricky Martin. Yeah, that was good. That one got me
Ricky
good.
Martin.
Hey,
Oh, you've been sick and you're drinking Bang? Doesn't that have like a ton of caffeine?
Yeah, but how do I stay alive if I don't have my creatine, caffeine, and kidney stones, man?
wait.
True.
Is caffeine really bad for you when you're sick?
Yeah, it's bad for
Well,
you
I
all
mean-
the time, man.
True.
Caffeine is generally not a great thing for you, period. But if you're sick, caffeine, one of the things that when you're sick is you always want to maintain hydration, right? And keep your fluid levels high. And caffeine is a diuretic.
That is a myth. Caffeine and
So I've
coffee
been
does not
shitting
make
blood
you.
all over the place.
Whoa! Wait, what?
I'm
Yeah,
just
caffeine doesn't dehydrate you, or coffee doesn't dehydrate. It's one of the two.
Well, it's a diuretic. It's that itself doesn't dehydrate you, but it makes you have to go to the bathroom more.
I don't believe you, man. What do you know?
It
That's
doesn't
not what-
necessarily
That's not what the internet
increase.
told me.
Listen, it doesn't necessarily mean that like you're going to become dehydrated faster, but it's not a myth to say that caffeine itself can be. It's not. Otherwise, why wouldn't you be running a marathon and somebody here, have some caffeine. Here, go do this.
Right.
CBD.
Right. True.
You know.
All right. True. It's fact. Send it
Yeah,
over
if
to
I wake up in the
WebMD.
morning
Yeah.
and if I drink my Kappa Latte Chino, I usually shit water, so I can see how it.
You almost squirting out the shoots,
I
poops.
can see how it dehydrates you. So
Oh.
yeah, I agree with Jimmy on this one. I think Knackers is incorrect. What a loser!
I didn't.
What a loser.
All right. Anyways, Bishop. Fuck you. Hey, MiddleAgedStream. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Stella, and I might switch to a sour later, but I might be sticking to Stella tonight.
Yeah.
I always used to judge people that put jackets on their dogs and clothing on their dog. You put clothing on your beer, Jimmy.
It keeps it cooler. It keeps it cooler longer.
Does it
All right,
actually
weird.
though? Have you tested it though? Do you know if that's
Yes,
placebo?
it's science.
It is.
No, it really works. Yeah,
Is it because
really
okay? So what's the actual scientific reason that drinks get warm? Is it because the condensation on the outside of the can gets warmer because of the elements and therefore warms the liquid on the inside of the can? Like what's the actual science behind that?
Honestly, I don't know the fucking science, bro. All I know is it keeps it cooler. And also, I realized I need to make my couch look nice. I look like a slob. I'm sorry.
Oh, is that your Twitch
It's a,
partner blanket that is all crumpled up there?
Oh,
It is, isn't it?
You just grab my
I fucking knew it.
blanket real quick.
oh, that's nice, man. Yeah, why does it say it so many times? It's like a misprint.
You know what? He can't hear us. He should have a channel points redemption where he has to wrap himself in that blanket and turn the AC off for like 10 minutes. Would you like that, Jimmy?
100 points.
You fuck.
Don't mind
We
me.
love
Just
that.
had to put my blankets up.
We saw. It's all right. And anyways, Winnie went to the store. She's like, hey, I got to go get some pop. You want anything? I said, you know what? I just want a tall, shitty beer. And I don't necessarily think that Modelo is shitty beer. But, sometimes you just want to drink a lot of low alcohol content beer. It's just like ice cold, smells sufficient.
Decent.
Yeah, ancient, did you say?
Decent.
Yeah, so anyways, we got the Modelo time up in here. All right, so tonight is gonna kind of be dedicated to Twitch news. There has been, well, let me rephrase. There has been a lot of Twitch news, and there has also been a lot of Twitch rumors that have hit the space lately. Some of this news is going to be stuff that pertains to you guys as the audience, whereas some of the other stuff is going to be more pertaining to Twitch streamers. And there is kind of there is shit all over the place. It's also crazy how much of our time we dedicate to talking about things that might not even be true. But we're, as content creators, we're all a tad bit selfish, narcissistic, and self-loathing. We like to talk about ourselves and bring attention to ourselves. It's just what we do. So we're going to do a little bit of that tonight, and it's going to be a great time. Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the video games that we have all been playing lately. Like I mentioned before we started, it's been about a month since we've had a podcast, so a lot has happened, but then again, not a lot has happened. So, Bishop, I know that you said that you were sick this past week, but before you started hawking big fat loogies, what were you getting into?
I played through Valheim completely with my buddies, and we completely finished the game. I think there's one boss left that I haven't finished, but they finished out. And then beyond that, I've been becoming a Rust degenerate, where I
No
just sit in my base
way.
and cook. Yeah, cook sulfur for hundreds of hours. So, yeah, I've been playing that pretty much every single night until like 2 or 3 a.m. every night. So yeah, love Rust. Great game. Great
Interesting.
game.
What's the draw to playing Rust right now? Like what was it that got you into it initially?
So I've had Rust for obviously a while. The game kind of sucked back in the day. It's getting better and better. I worked on a Rust show with Twitch Rivals, so we did that
That's
a
right.
few weeks ago. So I was a big part of like the graphics, it's kind of like production behind that. And I was like, hey, I really like this game. I'm going to return to it. I hadn't played it in a little while. It had been maybe like 8 months. Jump back in, and I was like, man, this is fun. I forgot about how fun this was. And I just love like the VoIP interactions in that game, and just how I just spend time fucking with people. So I've had a genuinely good time just like sitting and messing with people. Yeah.
Um, you know how they're growing up, right? I don't know how much this about you, Jimmy. I don't know how much multiplayer gaming you did, or at least online multiplayer gaming. Um, I, you see posts from people that are like, man, everything has changed. I don't game up late. I'm not up late gaming with my friends and partying and stuff. And then I'm over here thinking like, man, I still do that. Like I still
Yeah.
have the super late nights. And so like I see so many people out there that are talking about like the era of gaming, or like the good old days of gaming that have only been in the past. I'm like, man, if you try hard enough, you can still have those days and those nights nowadays. But I think for the most part, people are referencing their local friends, right? Where like you grow up with a group and then everybody gets families and kids and jobs. But if you're searching online, you're almost guaranteed to find somebody else that's in your time zone or that's playing the same games, so that you can continue making those memories. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about gaming is like, it's one of those eras of my life that never, even though I have my ups and downs, it never quite died completely. And so like to have that one thing from my childhood that's still kind of progressing into my future is great. And it also makes me super, super sour when you have somebody that says like, oh, you play video games, like, oh, like you're still gaming in your 30s. It's like, bitch, are you saying you don't want like something from your childhood to just continue? Like you don't want your nostalgia to just continue into your fucking 50s? Like you'd rather just not have that? Are you a fucking moron? Anyways, quick rant.
Yeah, I think I definitely feel the same thing. Like everyone used to hop on Call of Duty every night and play. Like all the homies would hop on Xbox Live, and everyone would play back in, when I was in high school and middle school. We'd all have those specific friend groups that would play games. I think a big part of it is there wasn't really that many good games back then. Like there was a handful of like really solid, like obviously there's a lot of great games like World of Warcraft.
You're talking when it comes to multiplayer games. There
Yeah,
wasn't a lot, yeah.
nowadays the AAA games fucking suck. Like they're genuinely bad. Like they last maybe like 3 months and then they're completely dead. Where the games like Rust, like World of Warcraft, the games that like Project Zomboid, these games that come out, they aren't really great at first, but they continue to develop. Like No Man's Sky, eventually they get to a point where they're so good that people live in those games. Like it's like they're 24/7. Like this is what I do for entertainment. Fallout. What was the Fallout multiplayer game? Fallout
76.
Fallout 76.
76. That game totally was a bust at first. Everyone stopped playing it. I think the major difference is like people that are more traditional, like casual gamers, tend to ride the hype waves of new releases, and they never go back to revisit games that are, quote unquote old, right? And then they can't get the friends to get involved in it because the gaming culture is so hype oriented nowadays. And it's like, oh, what's the new release that's coming out? And you can't get like that group of friends together unless that game is super hype. Like I have to convince people to come back and try new patches of games, and they're like, no, I already played that, I already did that, I don't want to play it again. Or like, imagine playing Rust when it first came out, or like within the first year versus now. It's a completely different game. Like it's completely different.
True.
So I feel like people get burned out real fast, and they kind of just like, I don't really like that game. But like, look at Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto came out fucking 10 years ago, man. Like the most recent game, I think it's 10 years now.
It's got to be a long time because it came out on PS3 and 360.
I thought it was
originally.
2015, or is it earlier than that?
No, it's early. It came out again in 2015.
Release date 2013.
Wow.
Almost 10 years ago.
10 years. Remember when that game came out? How many bugs and shit there were? How poorly it was optimized? And people
remember how many people were bitching about the length between Grand Theft Auto 3 and 4?
Yeah.
And then between 4 and 5 was a little bit, but this is like the huge gap. But it's all because the money they're making selling the shark cards and shit for their online shit, right? Isn't that how they basically make all their money?
Yeah, and I'm also guilty of the same thing that I'm judging like the casual gamer for. Because if someone hit me up tomorrow and said, "Hey, let's play GTA Online," I'd be like, "No chance, dude. Like I've played that shit tons. Like I don't want to go back." But it's gonna be. I bet you it's a completely different game. Nax is just sitting here realizing how old he is.
No, I just like I just played GTA 5 online last night.
The last time I played GTA 5 online was on Xbox One in 2015 when I was first streaming. GTA 5 was one of the very first games I ever streamed on Twitch from my Xbox and Kinect.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. It was one of the first. It was back when I was streaming from my couch with a Kinect and my Xbox.
So, you know what? I was just thinking when you were talking about how Twitch, how live streaming factors into the hype of video games. So I definitely think that this is one of those pro-con situations where the pro of streaming is that small games, indie games, or maybe games that wouldn't normally have a chance can get the attention of a large streamer who can broadcast it to hundreds of thousands of people, right? But then you also have like, if all of the biggest streamers don't feel that the game is worth streaming, not necessarily that it's not a good game, they all move on. And you have to assume that especially younger, more impressionable gamers, they see, well, if everybody else is playing it, like, why should I play it? I should probably just be playing what the normies are playing. I don't want to be a non-normie, right? It's like you don't really know what's good until you compare it to something else. And so there has to be, and obviously Twitch is a very, very small portion of the internet. So I don't want to say that like Twitch decides what games are popular and what's not. But I assume that it has to have some sort of an influence for sure.
Yeah, it's Jeff Bezos. He actually decides. So he sits there and he looks at the games as they come across his desk and he says, "Yep, that's the one. Tell Shroud and QVC.
Tell Shroud and QV. That's his name, right?
Know, man. Yeah, let him know. Let him know to stream this game. But yeah, I definitely think that there's some sort of contribution. I also think that there's like and I've fallen into this. There's like the toxic thought process that if you want to be a successful streamer, you have to jump on like a hype train of a game, right? Like you have to play the most up to date. You have to play what's coming out. And I really respect this about Jimmy. I'm just going to sideline this. That Jimmy, even though he thinks that there might be a game that he might like to play, sometimes he just waits. He's like, yeah, I'm going to wait till the hype dies out and then I'll play it afterwards. And Dark Souls was one of those. The Dark Souls, the newest Dark Souls, what's it called? Can't remember.
Elden Ring?
Elden Ring.
Yeah, I haven't played that yet.
He hasn't played it yet. Even though there was a huge hype thing on Twitch, people were playing it like
there's still a lot of people playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big popular game.
I think that the streamers sometimes fall into that they need to do that and need to play the most up-to-date games and what's new and what's fresh. But I also think that they're following in line with watching other big streamers like, Summit or whoever or XQC or whoever play those games. And they're like, oh, you know what? This is what I also need to be doing. Keep in mind, a lot of those people are getting paid to play those games, right? They're getting paid to play those, or they're excited for the hype. it's not going to translate, and then people kind of get stuck into this thing where they don't have a main game to play, or they're kind of getting lost. Where I think a majority of the Twitch streamers that I actually watch play games that aren't new, right? Like I watch people that are specific Rust streamers, or I look at like Future Man Gaming, who's just playing retro stuff, or Jimmy's playing retro stuff. They're going back and playing stuff that they really enjoy and that they had fun playing. And then if there's a new game that comes out, like the Star Wars Lego game, they're like, "Hey, this is cool. This is within what I would like to play," and they just play it.
Are you just
I
trying to
think that's
steal my thunder about what games
yeah.
I've been playing? Is that what you're doing secretly?
Yeah, basically, I'm just
Thank you.
giving away the whole
I appreciate it.
yeah, the whole village.
Thank you.
Jimmy's or Knackers has someone outside that's knocking on his window.
Fucking dude, air conditioners are the goddamn worst. I hate them. I fucking hate them, and hopefully you can't hear it now that it's on. I specifically spent a considerable amount of extra money to find an air conditioner that was like super quiet for this room. But I don't know what it is. Every air conditioner that I've ever had, as soon as you put it on like that eco mode where it turns off when it reaches a certain temperature, even if you like, hey, I'm gonna go 10 degrees below what the fucking eco temperature is, and it still takes like 5 minutes to turn the fuck on. It's like, turn on! Holy shit! You're like a circuit board, a compressor, and a fan. Turn the fuck on!
Yeah. It's like, do we need to turn on? It's getting a little hot.
Stupid
Contemplating.
little dick.
Contemplating.
All right, any other games for you, Bishop? Oh, Jimmy?
No, I still have Jimmy's in the meantime.
Okay, that's
He may have stolen some of mine. I bought right after, like a day or two after the last podcast, I bought the Lego Star Wars saga, the Skywalker saga. I bought it for myself on the Xbox Series X, and then my son wanted it, so I bought him for his Switch. The game is incredible. The game is not only is it just, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna love it. If you're a Lego games fan, you're gonna love it because it improves on a lot of the Lego gameplay. Like they didn't just put a fresh coat of paint on the game. It's an incredibly awesome game. I can't recommend it enough. If you've ever liked Lego games or Star Wars in general, you owe it to yourself to play this game. It is such a fun game. And
Can you try it on Switch and let me know if it's good?
I have played it on the
coming up.
Switch. I've played it on the Switch. Yes,
Is
it
it
is
worth playing?
definitely. Yes, it's serviceable on the Switch. It's not as good. Like I think the frame rate and everything maintains, but I think it's just like it's not as high def for like all the stuff. But it's really nice looking if you play it on the modern console or on PC. I've heard so.
console.
But yes, and then I just bought, because it was on sale. I bought this. I bought the 8BitDo arcade stick.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was on sale. It's normally like 80 something bucks. It was for just like right around 70. So I was like, you know what? I've been looking for, and this is compatible with PC and the Nintendo Switch. And I play a lot like Street Fighter on my Switch and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead. And I used it for the first time yesterday because I just got it, and it's really, really freaking solid. Like, it's got a nice heft to it. You can play it in wireless or wired mode. And honestly, I tried it in both, and I couldn't feel, there was no perceptible lag to me when I was using wireless. And that's playing Street Fighter. So,
Wow.
you know, maybe I'm just an old man and I can't tell. I'm sure there probably is some, but it's just so small. I couldn't even really notice it. So.
And you don't have to hold it. So your issue with like your hands getting drenched all the time and the controller slipping out.
Yeah. That also is nice. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. New periffs. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I bought that. I've been playing. I started that it's a few years old, but that the Tomb Raider reboot. I'm playing the final one, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I started that a few weeks ago. I'm only playing like once or twice a week because it won't take that long to beat, but it's pretty fun. It's kind of fun. I enjoy that the gameplay in those series. And then besides that, mainly just a bunch of retro shit. So
do you think you'll be using that controller for retro games? No.
For some, mainly I only want to use those for fighting games. Otherwise, I'm fine using a controller, but I do enjoy playing a lot of. And then Capcom's getting ready to release their fighting game collection. That's got a bunch of other fighting games too this summer.
I wonder if doing like Battletoads on something like that would be easier than a controller, just because of your hand placement.
Was Battletoads a popular arcade game?
In my days,
Battletoads,
yeah, it was really popular.
Battletoads, the arcade game, is like a totally different game than the NES
Oh,
game.
okay.
The NES game is more like a platformer, then the arcade is more like a beat 'em up. You know, but I mean, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna play with it some. I mean, it works really well. It's the buttons. I mean, the build quality is solid. I'm actually impressed because if you want to get, for those of you that know, if you want to get a a quality fight stick, like tournament level quality, like professional, that's going to cost you $150-$200 new, easy.
God damn.
So for something that is, it's not quite tournament level, but for the average user who would rather use a fight stick than a controller, it's the perfect purchase.
I'm just,
You know?
I'm just imagining you laying on your stomach in front of like a TV with that thing on the ground. You know how like kids used to play Nintendo.
I was talking about it in chat yesterday while I was going through. Do you guys know? You probably know about this, but they have a thing that's really become popular in recent years that wasn't a thing until relatively recently, but they're called the hitboxes, you know? The controllers that are just buttons. Like you're
No.
like left, right, up, and down, there's buttons.
No.
Oh, is this like an accessibility controller?
No, dude, like the best fight, like a lot of the pros are using these hitbox controllers.
Oh, I have seen these. Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah,
$300.
so like instead of using inputs for, it's like literally, so every input, there's no missed inputs. Yeah. It's about precision, you know?
God damn.
Yeah, hitbox controllers, man. Oof.
Oh my god, it's almost like a keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about it. I was like, I don't think I have the ability to
keyboard, man.
use one like that. I mean, you can make a jank hitbox with a fucking old ass keyboard. I saw a Reddit post on that. Someone made their own hitbox. It was like,
yeah, just
it's like an old fucking keyboard. Like they had all the keys removed except like the up, down, left, right, like the WASD, and then they had like 3 keys for like the punch buttons and 3 keys for the kicks off to the right. And it was just like an old ass fucking like, you know, PS2 type keyboard.
That's awesome.
That was funny. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me, man. Just playing the classics, enjoying the new games when I can, and yeah, been playing a lot of fun games.
Yeah, because what have you
been playing?
I, of course, been playing Call of Duty in the spare time. And actually haven't been playing a whole lot of that. We did play some last night. And they actually just teased Modern Warfare 2, which I don't know if it's Modern Warfare 2 remake or if it's just
Modern Warfare 2 remake or Modern Warfare 2 the sequel of Modern Warfare 2.
The sequel of Modern Warfare that came out in 2019.
Modern Warfare 2 did
again. Two again.
Also.
So fucking.
Yeah, Activision, you guys got to get your shit together with naming shit. It's a fucking.
How
mess.
is it that the homies?
It's on purpose. They do this because they're like, oh yeah, Modern Warfare 2 was such a great game. Yeah. It's Modern Warfare 2 2022.
Drives me up the fucking wall.
Called it. Modern Warfare 2
2022.
Yeah. Fuck, dude,
or just fucking vanilla warfare. How about that? Anyways,
well, it's not modern anymore because it happened back in 2006, so it's like
less modern.
Previously modern warfare.
Previously modern, now more modern than before.
A wee bit modern, you know. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Call of Duty here. Played some Grand Theft Auto 5 online. Played some last night. Did some heists with Robot and Glitter earlier this week, and is
that fun?
It is really fun. And
was it still the same heist though?
Yeah, I think there's only like a total of like 7 or some shit. It's so infuriating, dude. But
why couldn't they have not added more heists? I know we've talked about this.
Drives me absolutely insane.
I know.
But yeah, still very fun. And the thing is, even though I've done some of these heists 3, 4, 5 times over, when you're playing with new people, it's still a great time. And with the very final mission of one of it, I think we tried to replay it 20, 25 times. We just kept dying over and over again, and it was infuriating. But it was fun. A really good time. And then Dying Light 2, playing that every once in a while with Weenie. What a disappointing game. What a disappointing sequel to... Okay, I won't say what a disappointing game. What a disappointing experience that Weenie and I are having with that game, comparing it to its sequel. No spoilers, but no characters that you fall in love with. It's extremely janky. Performance takes a huge shit no matter what graphics card you're on. Huge bummer. I still, to this day, I can't believe how many large streamers were praising the shit out of that game in the state that it was in, even pre-release. Absolutely bonkers. But who knows? Maybe my experience is secluded from all the rest. But yeah.
So what you're saying is your experience with Weenie playing the game is awful,
especially with Weenie. Yeah.
the phrasing could get you in a lot of trouble.
But
I will say Weenie, from having played, I've only played a handful of games with Weenie online, almost always shooters, but that game is essentially, it's a shooter, right?
Mm-mm. Primarily melee.
Shooter?
Primarily melee.
Oh, it's a melee type game.
Yep.
Oh. Well, I guess
I
it's
like
what I
Weenie's
can.
better at
It's a
gaming than
first
Hackers.
person. Is a
Sure.
first person game.
Yep.
I think Weenie has a very particular, like she knows what she likes,
She's got a particular set of skills.
and when she doesn't like something,
like
she's
us.
gonna make it known that she doesn't like it and why she doesn't like it.
Yep.
And it's honestly always valid. Usually, anytime I've heard Weenie complain about something, it's always been valid.
Let's get Weenie at IGN. She's the new
Yes.
CEO. Let's have her fucking save the
Weenie
company,
to
man.
IGN.
Weenie would
Honest
shit on
reviews.
everyone if she worked at a public-facing job like that. Oh, my Lord. All right. Moving on into Twitch news. So there was a considerable amount of Twitch news and or rumors these past couple weeks. One of them being some possible upcoming change. Oh, Bishop, how deep can we dig into this with you here?
I don't know anything, man.
Sweet, awesome.
I'm a caged animal. I don't know shit.
For anybody who doesn't know, Bishop works at Twitch on their creative team, just slinging his big fat art brush of a dick around. He's just so goddamn gorgeous with his big fat cock. But anyways, there was a Bloomberg article that came out, I want to say earlier this week, in regards to some possible changes that were going to be coming to the Twitch platform. And again, these are all rumors. Was this only 2 days ago that this happened? It feels like way
I think so.
longer.
2 or 3 days ago. Yeah.
It was probably more than that. They might have just updated the article.
Okay. So number one issue was the clickbait. So there was a couple changes that were being talked about, and one of the big ones was the sub split. Now, for anybody unaware, the normal sub split for all affiliates and the majority of Twitch partners is 50-50 across the board for tier 1 subs.
It's not true. Say it again.
The split for subs for all affiliates and for the majority of Twitch partners is 50-50 for tier 1.
True.
Shut the fuck up! What do I look like out here? Yeah!
Misheard you.
It's okay.
I was trying to make content. I misheard you. Yeah, I stand corrected. Continue.
For a small portion of partners. Now, to put this in retrospect, Twitch partners, out of the 10 million streamers that go live every single month, 60,000 of them are Twitch partners. I'm sorry. Actually, there's 60,000 total Twitch partners. There is only 40,000 of them who go live at least once a month in Q1 2022. So a very, very small portion of those Twitch partners, and a lot of parameters have been thrown around. A 500 sub threshold means that you can contact Twitch and you can ask to be able to negotiate a better sub split, meaning that instead of getting 50% of the revenue for each sub, you could get up to 70% of the revenue. Now, for Twitch partners in general, Twitch partner base rule is 50-50 split for tier 1, 60-40 split for tier 2, and 70-30 split for tier 3. Now, that is partners across the board. But again, there are a very small portion of set partners that can actually negotiate a 70-30 for tier 1, 2, and 3. One of the
All facts.
Thank you. Thank you. One of the rumors that came out of this Bloomberg article is that the split for tier 1 subs, that 70-30, was going to get completely nixed for those select partners. There was obvious outrage about people hearing about their revenue streams getting cut a massive amount. There was actually one of the homies that I know, BishopGP. He tweeted out something saying like, "Hey, I'm one of the partners that is eligible for this 70-30 split across the board. If Twitch was to make this change, I would lose $900 worth of revenue just from that split loss, like for doing absolutely nothing different, which is an insane amount of money." So first impressions with this stuff, do you guys think this is going to happen? Considering the state of where Twitch is right now financially and, logistically, do you see this as something that could be coming to fruition?
I think now apparently the word was this was said by the CEO of Twitch in a behind closed doors meeting, right? That's what I heard. I could see this happening, but honestly, I think that the PR alone on this is so bad. And honestly, how much money are they really going to get back by making this move if they were to do this? This is it's already a small percentage of streamers that are partners, and an even smaller percentage of those streamers that have a higher split that they've worked out with Twitch in their contract. I can't imagine that there would be a huge amount of money that Twitch would recoup in this way, while also, and if they were, you're ostracizing some of your biggest creators on the platform by doing this. So I don't see them doing this. Could they? Yes. Do I see them doing it? No. I think this is kind of one of those things that, and I could be wrong on this, maybe this was hey, let's bounce this, let's accidentally leak this and see what social media says about it. And we'll kind of gauge from there. Because you'd be foolish to think that those things don't happen in big business. You know what I mean? Float some ideas around, see what the reaction is. So I don't think they're going to do it. But if they do, it sucks ass for those creators that have already worked that out. Because, Twitch is already taking a very large cut, in my opinion. Yes, does it cost a good amount of money to live stream? Sure. And I don't know what the actual numbers are of how much money it costs for bandwidth and transcoding options and stuff.
It's fucking expensive. It's so fucking expensive.
I know it ain't cheap. Yeah. So I know they're trying to make up that revenue in some form or fashion, and ads has been part of the equation, but revenue split, where you look at so many other platforms and it's so much higher than Twitch. It's just, I don't know, man. Honestly, I think if Twitch were to do this, what's the saying? You cut off your nose to spite your face or something like that. It's that sort of deal. Like I don't think it would be a net positive for Twitch to do this. I think it would be a net negative. Just my personal opinion. So,
real quick before you go, Bishop, the official, not the official, I'll say the unofficial cliff notes of said announcement was that there was going to be more incentive for ads. So basically more ads on the platform. The revenue split changing. There's going to be a new tier system. Whether that's for subscribers or for payments, we don't really know. No more exclusivity. So there would no longer be an exclusivity clause in the contract. Not meaning that you could multi-stream as a Twitch partner or a Twitch affiliate, or more so as a Twitch partner, but that you could stream on other platforms on other days. And that's something that people have been parading for a really long time, and it's really, really dumb that Twitch has this in their contracts, but it is what it is. And that's pretty much the highlights of those.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jimmy on the whole thing. I think the first thing that I saw was that the articles started popping up, and I was looking into them just a little bit. It didn't put a ton of effort. At first, I was like, God, that's a really dumb idea. Like, that's really stupid, because I think the main I think the main goal for Twitch, just in general, and what my understanding is that they really, really deeply care about the relationship with the creators. Like that's like their main people that they need to keep happy. And I feel like doing something like that would be bad. And then looking through it, I was like, man, that there isn't really a lot of validity behind. Like it doesn't really seem like they have a lot to stand on why they're making these claims. But then every other time in the past that there's been rumors like these, they end up happening, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's something that I was keeping in mind. I know that we, going to your point about the like there's always a trade-off, right? People don't just pull the rug and just be like, okay, good, good luck, hopefully hopefully this works for you. Like they're Twitch is not Mixer where they just kind of like throw people into a position and say
See
good
ya.
luck, figure this shit out. But we talked about this a little while ago when we were talking about TikTok starting their live streaming services, and um, the different like rules that you have as a partner and exclusivity and blah blah blah. And we talked about what it would take for us to agree to a deal with Twitch where we basically had freedom, right? More freedom, like whether it's less days streaming for a base amount of pay, or if it's a less of a cut for more or less exclusivity, right? So we could live stream or multi-stream or something along those lines. And if I remember correctly, all three of us were just like, hey, I would take the deal because if there's more different, like more variants to the deals that make sense for different types of streamers, that would be awesome. Especially as a growing streamer, this one deal cut for everybody doesn't necessarily make sense. And we need to have like more structured options as you're, growing, or, once you get to a higher level, like one size shoe doesn't, fit for everyone. So I hope that if this end up happening, there's a valid reason for it, right? Like there's a positive payout, right? If I no longer have an exclusivity deal, but I'm receiving less sub revenue, then what it actually does is it frees me up to start using other platforms like TikTok or Instagram or whatever might be another live streaming solution, to be able to focus more energy there. That's what I would do if I was a creator. Like if I got my revenue cut into piece, I would start using another platform
Yeah.
more regularly, right? And now I have the freedom to do that. Um, so I don't know. I think a lot of people are like immediately emotional about it and they're jumping to the guns and the conclusions. A lot of streamers are jumping to the conclusion and being like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. Um, they might not, I don't think there's enough detail yet for what is happening, or whether or not anything is actually happening. But like I said, I think based on history and whenever we see these rumored articles that are coming out from a third party source, usually some piece of it comes true.
Right.
So hopefully there's a positive outcome that's like you get more freedom or you can produce content in other places, or there's like maybe some different tiers or options that you can move into where like the general package is like this 50-50 split, but they can't put you in a holding pattern to only be on Twitch. Like you can spend a little bit of time or effort on another platform like TikTok that helps you grow a little bit more.
Jimmy,
But I also agree with Jimmy on the point that like I don't think that there's enough upside to taking that 20% of revenue back. I feel like that's not like those numbers are menial. And I don't think that people that are like the larger streamers like XQC or the people that have a majority of the subscribers actually have a deal that is structured like that. I think that they have their own custom deals, but also I'm not sure and I don't know. Assuming.
Jimmy, did you have something that you would like to say that your mic was muted before, but now that it's unmuted, you are totally free to do so? Oh, did you break your shit, homie?
No, I accidentally hit a button.
Wow.
What I was gonna say was, it's worthless now because he had said something and it made me think of Linkin Park. And he said something and you cut into pieces, and I said, "Cut my revenue into pieces. This is my last live stream," is what I was saying. But it's not even funny now because I fucked it. I'm sorry.
Blew it, man.
So,
Blew it.
Commander Root, back in late 2018, when the Twitch API was still considered wide open, and there was a lot more that you could do with it, and a lot more data scrubbing that you could do. This is also before Twitch was sending Commander Root cease and desists for his bots that were collecting data on their platform. But it is what it is. So he tweeted out something in 2018 that out of all of the partners. So back in 2018, there was probably like 40,000 partners. 14% of them had the 70-30 split, and 6% of them had the custom split, like a custom amount. So 22%, I'll say it was 14.8 and 6. So 22% of those partners. So let's say 40,000 partners. That would be times 0.20.
A fifth of them.
23.
So about 8,000, a little over 8,000.
Yeah. So 8,000 partners.
Something.
How much revenue are they actually making back by getting the subs for 9,000 streamers compared to like their total net revenue?
Yeah, I would make a general assumption that the people that are part of that 9,000 are the people that are the biggest streamers in the platform that hold the majority of the subscribers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like
Ludwig size guys or XQC, the people that have like 50,000 subscribers, which is like hundreds or tens of thousands of affiliates,
Oh my God. Yeah. There was actually something else I read today on one of Zach Bussy's Twitter threads is that bussin'. Sometime after Twitch released the regional based pricing for subs, they also got rid of that 500 sub threshold. So that threshold that a streamer can cross in order to negotiate that 70-30 split is no longer available. I haven't confirmed that 100% yet, because like whenever this subject comes up, you get a bunch of people that can't say anything because you're not supposed to talk about it. It's not even supposed to exist. And then you have friends of those streamers who say, well, I know a streamer who's had this conversation, but I can't talk about it. You point to Jimmy, this guy up here.
I was trying to point at Jimmy.
Yeah. So Jimmy, I'm not gonna press you, but you always have like these super nuanced answers of like, I know it's this for a fact, but I can't prove to you why it is this way. You're just gonna have to trust me. It's like, well, nobody fucking trusts you, Jimmy. So I don't want to hear your shit. But yeah, anyway, so I thought that was super interesting. Again, when this article first came out and all the clickbait was just saying, oh yeah, the revenue split's changing from 70 to 50. And me knowing the sub splits, my first thought was, who the fuck out of these 10 million streamers, how many of them actually have the 70-30 split? It's probably really, really small. Then of course you have these droves of people that are like, well, actually it's quite easy to get the 70-30 split. It's like, no, it's fucking not. Because if it is, then everybody would be talking about it and everybody would have it. But that's just not the case.
Yeah. Well, and there's probably more to it also. It's probably got to be like 500. It's not just 500 sub count. It's got to be 500 not gifted subs, like actual.
Correct. You are correct.
Subscribers to your channel.
And that's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot of actual subs that aren't mixed in with gifted subs, So I can see, yeah.
You brought up, I'd be interested to see how Commander Root was able to figure that out, analytically speaking, right? Because I don't think a part of the Twitch API, I could take a look, but I don't think that there's anything that's historically been able to give you stats on revenue on Twitch. You could probably get like subscriber count, but you'd be able to tell how many are maybe gifted subscribers versus regular subscribers, and maybe he's determining how many people would be eligible for that 70-30 split. I think that there's also, you brought up a cease and desist or whatever, but I've come to realize recently that there's a lot of like personal information that can be determined by data that's out on like APIs, right? So like you can put like one piece of information, let's just say the amount of subscribers you get, that isn't considered personal information, right? But if you put the numbers together to be able to figure out how much money that person's making and then publish that information, that is against the law, right? Because that's not publicly accessible information. So I think that there's probably a lot of sensitivities around that and people trying to figure that portion of it out, or just even maybe Twitch trying to figure that out.
Or like last year when they leaked like all the revenue of the top 10,000 streamers on Twitch revenue in the last for 2.5 years, like who the top 10,000 were. Number 9,044 reporting in.
Woo! Wait, did you actually find yourself on the list?
I was on the list.
No shit, you were on the list. You know what's
9,044, baby.
You know what's funny
I made
about
the top
that
10.
is the group or the person who released that, they kept teasing that a part 2 was coming and that more information.
Really?
I wonder if he got found and he got his ass cease and desisted. And
He probably did, man, because there was like, I looked at the numbers to see if it was legit. It was legit. Like, it had the exact, it wasn't, now it didn't include any money like tips and shit like that, right? Because that's separate. But all my revenue through Twitch that I had accumulated for the last 2+ years was all accounted for from when that report came out.
okay.
It was actually like double, but this is like an IRS play that Jimmy's making right now.
Yeah. It was legit.
Yeah. It was exact. It was exact.
Totally
like, to
exact.
The number. It was a
To
little higher than I
to the
expected.
penny.
I expect a return on this next year.
I just want to read some of these stats because these stats are super interesting to me. Twitch currently has 2,600,490 affiliates and 64,719 partners, all while having 2,182 staff accounts. There are currently more than 8 million emotes on Twitch.
Wait, how many staff accounts?
2,100.
Okay.
In Q1 2022, there have been 10,500,000 users that streamed at least once. 40,000 of those were partners, 1.3 million were affiliates, and 9 million were plebs, as Commander Root says, non-affiliates. If you require 5 or more streams, then 35,000 partners went live in Q1, 1 million affiliates, and 3.5 million. So yeah, that's a little bit more realistic of a number. But man, 3.5 million streamers that are not affiliates. So in between the 0 to 2 viewer range. Blown.
Just imagine, the other thing to keep in mind with a lot of these statistics is imagine how many bot accounts exist that are just streaming tests, right? Like a test stream,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's those sort of situations. Also, like related to the partner numbers, like there was, before my time at Twitch, there was a huge plethora of like esports teams that were getting partnered, like World's Best Gaming and all of these like bullshit organizations that had like no actual professional experience. We're just partnering people up the wazoo. There's a bunch of accounts that exist that you'll see that have like 4 followers that are partnered, that are nobody esports people that have never competed in a tournament but were on a roster, so they got a partnered account. There's also a lot of like accounts that are partnered that are like official accounts of things that, you know, could be like a celebrity that never streams. So there's a lot of like, these analytics are a little skewed, I think, as well. Like you have to keep in mind that those things exist. But I'm actually, it's significant the amount of partnered streamers that actually streamed 5 times a month, like 30,000 of what did you say it was? 40,000?
So for partners that went live at least once, it was 40,000. And partners that went live at least 5 times, which for Q1, that's 2.5 times. No, I'm sorry. 2 times a month, pretty much.
Yep.
So 5,000 partners went live less than 5 times within Q1.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a good chunk.
That's good. Yeah, wait, there's only 5,000 people that didn't go live. Oh, Jimmy's muted again.
Jimmy, what are you doing? This podcast is broken enough.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I had an interesting stat I just pulled up here also, which I thought was interesting. Did you know that in 2022 on Twitch, most people spent
5,500, 600 minutes.
doing other things? Did that not work?
No, it worked.
No,
it worked.
Oh, it just wasn't that funny. I'm sorry.
I
go ahead.
laughed.
It was a joke from Rent. It was from Rent. It's a musical.
No, that's from The Office.
Get some culture.
Mm.
No, The Office is replicating.
No, it's originally from The Office, and then went back.
They copied.
Went back in time.
You guys,
last final
I
step.
quit.
Are you leaving? Okay, I was gonna go pee, so please go quickly before I pee myself. One last stat. You know how like Streamlabs has been found out to like steal from streamers and steal from other companies and do really scummy things, and everybody's like, Streamlabs. I'm gonna get off this platform. Jimmy being one of those people.
I didn't know about
Look at him dancing. He's dancing while we're talking shit about him and his choice of streaming platforms. He's going to pee on a beaver. Is what he's going to do out there. But anyways, after all of that, after all that bullshit, after all those people claiming that they were going to leave Streamlabs, in Q1 2022, Streamlabs still has the majority market with 1 million of all streamers using Streamlabs, 35%.
Yeah.
And as far as partners,
sorry, go ahead. Finish.
as far as partners go, 42% of all partners are still using Streamlabs.
42% of all partners are using Streamlabs.
And Jimmy's one of them.
Yeah. I think Jimmy's one of them. I'm using it. You know why? Because I don't want to move my shit.
Move it! Where are your morals?
I'm not moving my shit, man. I can't. I don't have the time to do that shit, man. I spent I've seen Stream Elements too, and I just don't want to learn a new platform.
That's fair.
I just don't have the time. I'll get around to it though. I know that our boy, the Firewire, uses Stream Elements, so I will talk to him about it. I don't want to go through and redo shit.
The number one hard thing with switching a platform like that, when the quality of your live stream, when your production value relies solely on a volunteer-based Discord support system, and you can't get like definitive or like real questions answered in a timely manner without, like, every time you go into a Discord to get support, it's like you're fucking elbow to elbow with a bunch of other streamers who are all fighting for the support's attention. It makes me feel like a huge piece of shit. I hate it.
Yeah.
I really wish we would get past this, use Discord for support to communities, because it's the fucking worst.
It's trash.
Even with threads, because for the most part the people that are in those channels are not paid. They're volunteers, and the people who are paid, they're just getting their attention ripped apart by hundreds of different people every single day. And I would love to get away from that. That would be grand.
Yeah, back when I was doing the tournaments using Discord, like with the racing series tournaments, we had a ticket system that was like this plugin for Discord that worked pretty good, but no one ever used it. They just put it in the general chat. It was the worst shit ever. And you also have like other people responding to the questions that are giving like vaguely helpful information. It's just a shit show, man.
Yeah.
Any sort of tech support where other people can see the tech support that's happening is a bad move, because other people are going to chime in and be like, oh, this product sucks. Oh, this is happening. And I saw in chat, Armchair Guru said 73% of statistics are made up. Here's one that's made up for sure. Or it might be accurate. It's a statistic after all. But I would say like 70% of tech support is because the user, or the thing that the user is asking for is just idiotic. It's just a user mistake. It's just like they don't know what the fuck they're asking for.
So that, and in my journey with audio and working with people, there are so many times where somebody comes up and says, hey, I have this audio issue. Can you help me troubleshoot it? And they're like a single PC setup, one microphone, one headset, OBS, right? And they've got this super extravagant, super complicated setup. And I'm like, look, I understand that in your mind, you believe that it needs to be set up this way in order for you to do what you want to do. But you are overcomplicating the fuck out of it. And I can't help you fix this super niche, nuanced issue that you have. And whenever I tell somebody, like, you really just need to simmer down. Like, you just need to dial this back a little bit, and you'll be a little bit easier. And almost always that either hurts their feelings, or they think that you don't know what you're talking about, and it's not a fun situation. That is something that is very, very real. Another thing when it comes to tech support. So I got a new work laptop about 4 or 5 months ago. Super top of the line HP laptop for work. It's
humble brag. Yep.
I didn't pay for it. Work bought it for me because I'm such a great worker.
It's the best laptop you can buy, but I didn't even buy it. It's free.
There are times where you can have issues that nobody can explain. I was trying to set up Windows Hello on this laptop, and for the fucking life of me, could not get it to recognize my face. And I went through hours and hours of troubleshooting. After all this time of beating my head against the wall, I realized that the laptop had a tiny privacy shutter that would cover the webcam, and it was just closed enough, maybe like 10 15% of the camera to where it was causing Windows Hello to fail. And there are issues like that where the user doesn't even know that this issue exists because they don't even know to look for it. And then you have Discord support trying to save this streamer's life. And it's like, oh, well, you know what? I bought the product. I couldn't get it to work. It sucks. So I returned it. And then I bought a Shure SM7B. And everything's been fucking amazing ever since. And those are the things that you just can't fight. And they fucking, it sucks when it happens.
Yeah, I have a really good story about something very similar. It's like, and I was trying to find the term for it. I think it's like red herring, right? It's like you're searching for the solution to a problem, but you're focusing on something that's irrelevant.
Yep.
So I I was previously using the Yamaha MG10XU, the mixer, and I swapped to my new PC, and I was hearing audio popping with my microphone. So it was like popping and static, and I was getting it within game, like feeding back to my headset, and it was a constant issue. So it was microphone and headset, just these little pops and audio static every now and then. I started Googling 100 times over, like explaining the issue, asking on threads, forums, trying to figure out like why the static popping was happening within this mixer, right? Huge pain in the ass. Don't know why it's happening. I was monitoring through the mixer. Everything was connected through the mixer. Long story short, I was searching for this, asked Yamaha, talked to tech support, went through 100 different, different touch points to try to figure this out. It turned out to be my CPU. It turned out to be the amount of power that my CPU was receiving, and that was causing an issue because the mixer is plugged in via USB. It was causing an issue where audio was having a global problem, even though, like, you would think it's like, oh, the mixer's having the issue. If I swap over to the other PC, it's fine. But something's going on here between the mixer and the PC, and it's just not working out. It was because my 5950X wasn't receiving enough power on the overclock. Just
and it's like how the fuck do you
nice
find
little
that?
humble brag there.
Yeah, my shit's
my
overclocked.
5950X wasn't receiving enough power, and my 3090 fucking SLI together my other 3090 it wasn't receiving enough power. My 2000 watt power supply.
It was a big issue, man. My $1,000 CPU was having a problem. It was just having all these problems.
I gotta pee.
Sack of shit.
We were just talking about how most people that ask for tech support or that are trying to figure out the solution to a problem are just digging into something that is completely irrelevant to the actual issue, right? And I was explaining that my Yamaha MG10XU, which is like a $200 mixer, I just plugged in my.
Oh my god! Oh wow!
No,
Me.
yeah.
I agree with you. I have a lot of people too that try. The funniest thing to me, I always enjoy are random people. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. Maybe like once a month. I'll have some rando come into my stream and then start trying to like get OBS tech support and shit while I'm streaming, like while I'm playing a game, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, why would you think that I'm gonna walk you? Like, have you ever heard of a thing called Google or YouTube? Yeah. Which would be like a 9 million times better.
He's asking you for tech support for his OBS. Oh, I was thinking this was you having an issue and him trying to solve it for
no.
That's even worse, man.
Yeah. I'm like,
you're like,
what? Am I fucked up? Anyway, but there's just some people that are out there weird on the internet, man.
Yeah. I feel like we're in OBS is a great piece of software. I love OBS to death. Jim, I fucking love Jim, man. I owe the guy my life. But dude, the piece of software has so many places where shit can go wrong that it's literally impossible to provide tech support to someone
if you don't have like an understanding of exactly what they're doing.
Exactly what could go wrong.
Like you need to see. Like I learned that's one thing I learned from Knackers too. Like when it came from like fixing stuff with power, was actually figuring out if things are fucked up, you might want to redo what USB like bridge or hub you're plugging in your USB shit into.
Yeah.
And just figuring that out saved me all kinds of problems, years ago. But that's something that a normal user who everything is advertised as plug and play, so you're just plugging your USBs in the back of your brand new gaming PC you just got,
thousands
and not
of
realizing
you spent on it,
that you just plugged in a USB port for a Go XLR and 2 webcams on like the same hub,
Yeah.
that
And it's
are
pulling
is
too
just
much
gonna
power, yeah.
it's gonna draw way too much power. So you have to either get another hub or whatever, so that way it's not doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. The final thing I'll say on this, I know we have other subjects to go over. I've decided conclusively, like I know a metric fuck ton about computer stuff. I'm just like a prosumer warlord at computer stuff and in OBS. Like I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm really good at a lot of stuff, and I've figured a lot of tech oriented stuff out in my days. Really, most of the time, just by knowing what to Google, right? Like
Mhm.
figuring stuff out in tech or in doing tech support myself for my own stuff. I've decided now to not provide any sort of tech support to anyone on Twitch. If I'm watching someone and they start having an issue, I'm not going to tell them how to fix it. And the reason for that is this. I was watching one of my favorite streamers, this guy named Coconut Bee, and he started having audio issues. Okay. And you guys, I'm sure in Knackers, I want you to follow up on this because I'm sure this has happened to you. When you are a viewer in someone's stream and not like a person that, like, if I'm in Knackers stream and I give him like a tech support feedback or say, hey, try this, he'll know that like where I'm coming from and what my perspective is. And you'll be like, oh, maybe that'll work. When you're a viewer and the person doesn't know who you are, you have literally one chance to give them tech support. If the thing that you provide as a potential solution doesn't work, the person's gonna fucking hate you. Just be like, that guy was an idiot and they wasted my time and they don't know what they're talking about. You immediately lose all sort of credibility. And I've run into this with with audio issues on someone's stream where they're having an issue and it could be like one of 5 things. I'll be like, okay, first try this. That thing won't work, and they'll be like, oh yeah, that wasn't the thing. I knew that wasn't the thing. Let me, people are just telling me to fix this and that's not the thing. And then they get all like passive aggressive with you because the thing that they just tried to fix didn't fix the problem that they were having. So they feel like you wasted their time.
Yeah.
Even though like, it's like a process of like, let me try this and then this and then this. Yeah.
Jimmy,
Jimmy,
what are you
you're
doing with
muted
your microphone tonight?
How does that keep happening? But
Sorry,
like
I got it. Okay.
all good.
No, I totally get that, and I think that sometimes people, when I see this the most often with streamers that are new and newer streamers. I don't think it's as bad now as it even used to be, though, but you still see it on occasion. There's so much more information that's out there now. It's rare for me if I'm looking at new streamers now that I see a lot of the myriad of problems that I used to see with new streamers on Twitch. Like if you were looking at the 0 to 1 viewer streams on Twitch in 2016 as opposed to 2022, there's a big difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a big difference. Like, you would be shocked. I guarantee you'd be looking at some of these 0 to 1 viewer streams in 2022. If you looked back at those streams in 2016, you would expect them to have a bit higher viewership, because as far as the tools, both the hardware tools, the software tools, and the know-how that's out there now there's so many resources for streamers to learn and apply what other people have taken the time to learn doing and apply it to your own content. It's just too easy, man. It's too easy now,
Yeah, so I've definitely had that happen. And again, with troubleshooting anything technical, like you said, it's a process of if this then that, if this then that, and then just going down. And I can't even tell you, even when you're trying to help somebody in Discord, you're like, hey, answer these 5 questions. And they pick one of them and answer it. And then I say, okay, well, like, what do I do now? I'm like, well, I can't help you unless you answer these other questions. I'm like, well, I guess you can't help me then. I guess you can't help. And then that's the fucking end of it.
Well, I've already tried that. Yeah, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. I've already tried this stuff that you're offering to me. It's like, okay, man. Cool,
Anytime somebody tells me that, I'm like, cool. I don't know that you've done that yet. And in order for me to reach my hypothesis, I need to know that you have done those things, so we're doing them again. I do this with customers all day long. They're like, well, I rebooted my computer already. And then come to find out, it's like they put it to sleep and then woke it up again. It's like, no. I need you to shut it down and then power it back up again.
Take the battery out, pull it out.
Do you know what a fucking power cycle is, you fucking moron? You fucking jabroni? Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, Twitch sub split. great for the Twitch community. Can't wait till it hits. Everybody's going to benefit so much from it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I didn't want to spend a crazy amount of time on it. I'm glad that we didn't. We kind of like went off on a tangent because again, this could just be a rumor. But do you want to know the one thing that did occur to me is that sometime in our Twitch careers, a wonderful thing came along called Twitch Prime, and streamers across the galaxy all doubled their revenue for doing absolutely nothing. I understand. And then after that, gifted subs came along. And then again, for doing absolutely nothing, streamers were able to increase their revenue. So is this maybe a sign of like, shit might have been a little too good and we got to reel it back. Like we realized we overextended ourselves and we need to reel it back. That's kind of like my very cynical thought process, but it did made me think of like how many handouts us as Twitch streamers have gotten over the years. And it's like, is this
OBS?
Oh my God. Is this going to sting? Yes. Does it suck? Yes. But also we've gotten a shit ton of freebies over the years. You know, we've gotten a lot of things handed to us for not doing any extra work whatsoever. And, maybe this is kind of like a little give and take, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I don't want to see anybody lose revenue. But I also think that the majority of people that are seeing this as a huge negative are also people that have not diversified their income. They have focused solely on Twitch, and that this is going to be a huge dip into their bottom line because this is it's the majority. And this could be, we've all been talking about how Twitch streaming is not a viable career because of how demanding it is, how much time you have to give it, and how volatile it is. Maybe this is really the start of like the turn into this new era of content creation where streaming is no longer the focus of content creation. It is going to become the side gig. And the people who are going to flourish, the people who are going to continue, are the ones that are going to be able to be a multifaceted creator of utilizing all of these different platforms in order to stay on the map.
I think that is true as far as yes, the people that figure out how to survive will survive, right? Like if you need to go over to another platform and start producing on like TikTok, that it shows that you have more skills than just live streaming on Twitch, right? And you have to like diversify your skills. But I also think that live streaming is not going anywhere. The way that you're going to make money may change, and that is the reality behind it. Like things are going to change as things happen. I think that you're totally right. Like handouts have happened over and over again. Like I even have the feeling as a creator when I find a tool that's incredible, that is free, I'm just like, holy fuck, I need to use this as fast as possible and figure out how to use this in the best case scenario before it gets behind a paywall. There's a thing called Shots Fired that I've talked about a bunch, which is an Overwolf plugin that is now behind like a $5 a month paywall that like lets you use game events to control OBS. Most incredible piece of software that no one uses. It's incredible. There's another thing called Leorin board, which is like this huge, custom Stream Deck application that lets you control everything in OBS with plugins and events and all kinds of things. The most powerful tool I've ever used in streaming. It's free right now, and I'm like, holy fuck, I got to utilize this thing. Twitch is the same way, where it's like you get a stream on the platform for free, right? You get to use all the technology for free. And as you grow, eventually you get to start making money. That's probably going to change in the future. I don't know, like maybe that's changing in the future. But I think at the end of the day, people will figure out how to make money doing all of these things. It's just a matter of like the majority of people that are smaller streamers, the path to success is going to change. Like that's just obvious. That's what has happened in every single industry always. The current meta is like, hey, I'm going to become a streamer, grow my subs, get to a point where like I have enough sub revenue to quit my job and just focus on streaming. That meta will potentially change where that's not as realistic. So
I don't think that's even realistic today.
No, not for 98% of the streamers on the platform.
Yeah, that's not a realistic goal.
Yeah,
at all.
But people still set that as their goal.
People,
what I'm saying.
It's not a realistic goal, but a lot of people think it's a realistic goal.
Exactly.
That especially that are getting into streaming. Yeah, I hear that. And I've even had people say shit to me like, "Oh man, why are you working? Like you got a big community and like, like you're all averaging over 500 subs a month and stuff." I'm like, "Look, man. You know what that 500 subs revenue is for me a month? this is like after the certain tax comes out of the initial bit, because you don't get like
70-30 split.
250.
Right.
It's less than that.
Like
and it's mostly
190
US for me.
or something.
Well, it depends. For a US sub, I think it's like 213 for me.
Okay.
Like a US sub. In other places though, which is the majority of my subs, it's like 78% of my subs come from the United States. And then
Can I guess your revenue before you say it? I'm going to let you finish, but I want to guess what your revenue is from just subs.
hang on a second, because now I need to pull it up.
Oh, holy about to lie.
No, I wasn't about to lie, but you're putting me on the spot. And now I gotta like, hey man, I'm just trying to be accurate.
I can tell you what my sub revenue was. I just did.
What was your sub revenue
for the past 2 years? It was $38.
That's a nice freaking
I think
KFC dinner
10 times. So
that's a nice KFC dinner.
You tell me how many subs you had for the last month, Jimmy, and then I'm gonna guess your rev.
Oh, my overall rev?
Yeah. For
look how you guys are calling it rev. You guys are the cool kids now.
Yeah, I got that rev, dog. Got that rev.
Oh wait, your revenue is gonna include your bits too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not gonna guess. Well, I'll guess it. I'll guess anyways, just for funsies.
Okay.
Well, wait, you can see the breakdown of subs and bits for the month, right?
Can I?
Yeah, in the
Yes.
streamer dash. Okay, so I just want to guess what your sub revenue is.
What was my overall sub? Like, how much money did I make off subscriptions?
Yeah, for last month.
Whether it was gifted and or not gifted, right?
Yes, and I want to guess before you tell me.
Go ahead.
Okay, how many subs total?
506.
Okay, I am going to assume that your revenue was for subs $13.50.
1625.
No, I'm trying to do the math because I gotta add gifted.
Oh, you got to add them up.
Let's,
Okay.
Hold on.
$700 million.
Okay, I know the answer.
What is it?
1150.
Oh, I was fucking close. God damn. Okay.
Is that pre-tax or post-tax?
Post-tax.
1150. Jesus, dude, that
For
sucks,
500 subs.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
$1,150 is 500 subs.
Yeah, you should quit your job.
Quit your job, dude.
I should quit my job.
Oh,
And then
man.
you could go on healthcare marketplace and then get a tax deduction for health insurance, and then you have to pay it back after you start making more money. So you have you're gonna basically get taxed like $9,000 in a few years.
Listen,
You know?
I'm not trying to make this sound like I'm not grateful for those 500 subs.
He's not,
and
chat.
the gifted subs. I am.
Sub to me.
I just think it's funny that when people say like, "Oh my God, you've got like 500 subs! Wow, man, you must be fucking yeah!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that doesn't really mean shit.
How, in regards to, so take all your subs and your bits, what percentage of PayPal tips is your revenue for an entire month? I am going to assume or guess it is less than 15% of your revenue actually comes from PayPal tips.
Yes.
Okay.
Usually less than 10%.
And I think that Bits has a play in that, right? Like having the embedded payment system on the platform.
For sure.
I remember when Bits first got announced, everybody was apart from the split, which again you pay $1.40, but you only get $1 worth of bits.
$1 back.
The whole celebration of like a bit cup and bits falling into cups and like all the animations. It was a hype time. It was a cool thing to be around.
I remember.
And I've actually, I've been asking this question to other streamers, like, hey, how often are you getting tips instead of bits? And a lot of people get mostly bits, which is not what I would have expected after seeing the uproar that bits created within like the streaming community.
I think it comes down to the fact that it's all in one service and platform. And there's also incentives that you naturally get that Twitch is built in by giving bits. You've got bit badges, all that shit. There's no incentive for tipping aside from your streamers getting the most of it.
Right.
Like, you don't get any incentive that's built in on the platform. Twitch isn't going to give you a special badge. They're not going to do anything like that. And while I
You
know
get
that
bit badges though on the
Yeah.
channel. There's not on
Yeah.
the platform. Yeah.
That too.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you tip someone though, you don't get any sort of recognition on the platform. So it really is up to the individual streamer to incentivize you to tip them.
Yep.
But to me, I've never really found a way to do that, which isn't just like out and outright saying, "Hey, you should just give me money here if you want, because I get more of it."
Yeah. I
So,
see what you're saying.
It's
Maybe
kind of a weird way to advertise that, you know? So I have it in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
but I generally don't ever really bring up. I thank people when they give me tips. It's always really nice. I have a few people who are very generous that have given me some generous tips over the years. But yeah, Knackers, I would say a month to month on average, it's less than 10% of my overall Twitch revenue is from tips.
Knackers, we should compare Twitch revenue like overall for last year. You and I.
Okay.
Because I know that you
Actually, I can.
because I
I don't remember.
but
what
I'm
it was.
talking like all revenue that came specifically from streaming, and I'm taking that outside of the job. I'm basically looping in what happened with Streamlabs into that.
Oh, okay.
I want to see if me not streaming but having been a streamer netted more of a positive result than actually streaming.
I haven't looked at this
But
in
we can
so
do this
long.
offline. We don't have to do this on.
Oh,
on,
okay.
on stream.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what I
Yeah.
claimed for income for Twitch for last year, and I want to say 6,000. I think it was 6,000 for the year.
Okay, so mine was just under that by like $500. If I don't pull in my actual Twitch revenue, I'm just thinking of what.
Wait,
I
that was your revenue for not streaming for a year?
Not streaming, just being a streamer. Just that picture of me being a streamer.
Wow! How? Of people keeping their subs active?
No. Has only because that picture of me being a sub has been used in marketing. Or sorry.
Oh, okay,
me being
dude.
a streamer.
I
not
was
a
about to
sub.
say this motherfucker out here not streaming. I'm busting my ass all
Yeah.
year, and we got the same revenue.
You just have to look like a streamer to make money as a streamer. You don't actually have to stream, man.
Are you talking about that old one back when you lived in Arizona? That picture?
that picture? Yeah.
But that
yeah,
is
yeah.
fucking
where you had the
awesome.
Imagine in the background. It is cool that you were like,
Yeah.
you're a meme twice over.
Yeah, I'm just
Like,
dude.
that's
That shit's
kind
just
of
a
an-
fucking.
You literally, that's like getting struck by lightning twice. You realize that, right?
So for chat, for anyone that's wondering what we're talking about, because I know we're
Yeah,
having
drop the
like,
link in chat.
we're having an internal conversation. So basically, what ended up happening is that back in the day, I had a pretty sweet streaming setup that was just really dog shit, but was really cool for the time. It was just like different than what people had set up. It was just looked more professional. Everyone said what Jimmy said, which is like, hey, you should be much bigger of a streamer because you have a great setup. Back then, it was much rarer. But basically, what ended up happening is that picture or a screenshot of my stream was taken. Someone used it in an article that I contributed on. That article had a bunch of SEO, search engine optimization. So if you search Twitch streamer, my picture, my face pops up with like a quintessential streaming setup. Because no one recognized me, I'm not Shroud or Ninja or anyone. It just looks like a great streaming setup, but no one knew who I was. A lot of articles, brands started using that photo and posting it to reference streamers. So you'll find that picture in articles on like Forbes for like the top 10 streamers. Me next to Shroud and fucking Summit
He's
1G.
not.
like,
He's
in
not
between
kidding
them.
at all. He's not.
Yeah,
kidding.
not kidding at all. Top 10 streamers on Twitch. My picture is featured next to Shroud and Summit 1G because the people that wrote the articles back in the day knew nothing about streaming. Then what ended up happening is like if you go on Fiverr, you'll find my picture on like people selling overlays because like the default streamer picture. What ended up happening is a big brand used that photo in their marketing for a product. I reached out to them, ended up getting a payout for them using that photo. That was around $5,000. And because of me, or last year, I didn't stream literally at all. I think I streamed maybe 5-10 times. I made that money doing nothing, streaming oriented, but being a streamer. And Knacker streaming made just a little bit more than that by putting his time and effort into it. So that is the most significant story surrounding just taking your content and putting it in other places, like existing other places, that can make you more successful on Twitch than actually being on Twitch
Yeah.
as a streamer.
Yep.
So if that's not supportive of that story, I don't know what it is. So
That's such a wonderful way to put it, because like everybody who started streaming, right, was thinking like, man, how cool would it be to be able to stream full time, to stream 5 to 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, and that be like the only thing that I did. And now, like, you know what, I feel this way, and I'm sure that there's other people that feel this way too, where like you've been working towards this goal of full-time streaming forever and ever and ever. And then by the time you're starting to like near it, the whole market is changing to where like the thing that you desire is no longer the top thing. The top thing is to now be slinging cock on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and Twitch, and where streaming is like the smallest part, oh, not the smallest part, but a smaller part of what you're doing as a content creator as a whole. And that fucking sucks to admit. Like, it sucks to admit that you've been putting all of this time and effort into this dream or like hopes that is now changing, where like you feel like, you know, when they say like streaming's not going anywhere or like slow down, it, you know, it's fine, you can go at your own pace, but really the thing that you're chasing has now changed and everything's different now, and that kind of fucking sucks. So I mean, I understand when people say it to that point.
Yeah, look at any major content creator, like major, I'm talking like top tier content creator on any platform.
Yep.
Tell me how much they've changed over the years. Like, look at any major YouTuber. Look at H3H3, right? Is the content he's producing today the same strategy or even meta or structure or anything even remotely the same as what he used to do?
No, not even close.
There's maybe a handful of them that are the same, but
Summit is the only
changes.
Dude that hasn't fucking changed.
Summit's the only guy. Yeah. People start doing podcasts. They start using Instagram. When Instagram was taking off, they start moving over to TikTok or Vine or whatever it might be. I think that content creation is half spending the time to figure out how to make the best content, have a great space where you can create that content, and then the other part of it is just chasing what is new and trying to keep yourself fresh and keeping like your vision, your brand consistent. Look at Jake Paul. The guy's literally like a mastermind.
Yeah.
Like, people hate him. He's a literal master of finding ways to continue to jump from place to place to place, from Vine to YouTube to Disney to getting lawsuits against them in LA to then becoming a boxer, like jumping through metas consistently and just being in front of people's faces consistently. And I think as a content creator, you have to find ways to continue to do that and not get married to a single platform or a single solution, but find ways to like live in all of those places without, you know, getting stuck in one of them, because you'll just become a dinosaur. And I think like
it's adaptability. It's plain and simple. You know, you have to. Twitch, and it's not just Twitch. The whole world is way different now than it was years ago. So the way people consume content is different now than it was when I started streaming on Twitch. The way the different types of, you know, apps that are available, the technologies. So you can't have the same mindset. You know, you're just like anything else. You should be able to, if you're a true content creator, you should be able to take the changes that are coming to the platform and be able to kind of roll with the punches, you know, and realize, hey, if I want to achieve these goals, I'm going to have to change what I'm doing, because the old way of doing things no longer works. And there were a lot of things that if I had told you 4 or 5 years ago would have been 100% spot on, would work on Twitch. And if I told you today would not work on Twitch.
Yep.
And that's just the bottom line. I think sometimes people don't want to admit or don't want to, you know, change. We're humans, man. Humans hate change. And when especially if you've been putting a lot of time into something and you've been seeing improvement, it's hard to say, I'm going to blow this up and do something. I'm going to do things different now. You know, it's hard to do. You get it?
Yeah. I think look at any professional player in any FPS shooter game and tell me how many of them are still playing the exact same game that they've been playing for years.
Yeah.
Look at any big time streamer. Tell me how many of them are playing the same game that they've been playing.
Or even
games are indicative of platforms. They're the same kind of idea. It's like, that's the meta. You just have to find ways to succeed in those games, right? Find ways to play those games. Maybe you have a certain set of skills that transfer over. You know, your skill as an FPS player continues to translate to game to game to game. But the meta changes, the strategy, how you play that game, the things that you might have to develop to become better and better at those those particular games. It's the same thing with these platforms. Every single new platform that comes out, or new way to make money or revenue, you just have to be able to be ready and adaptable and consistent. And that's it's basically like I hate using this word because entrepreneur is now becoming a shitty word again, but because everyone's fucking BMW driving, Vema slinging fucking goblin, but or now selling NFTs and shit. But yeah, you just have to figure it out. You just have to continue to figure out how to produce content.
Jimmy,
Just do it, man.
Twitch shuts down tonight. Are you starting to stream up on YouTube?
Yeah.
Or Facebook?
I don't even have a Facebook. So no. Yeah, no. If Twitch were to shut down, I would just switch to YouTube. Yeah, to keep live streaming. And obviously, I would take a hit, if that happened. But I don't see that happening. But who knows, man? Who knows what'll happen? No.
Maybe Discord would take over. Paul just put a good point in chat. Maybe
Yeah,
Discord would
Discord
open up
streams.
TikTok is now testing game streaming on their platform. And
Oh, they really?
yeah, it's mobile game streaming, so it's not full streaming. However, plenty of creators have had access
There's
to
a lot of great mobile games out there.
There is. Plenty of streamers have
mobile
had
games
access
with
to
earbuds, man.
their stream keys, so they can actually take their OBS and pipe it directly into TikTok. There's some streamers who stream 4 to 6 hours, but this new mobile game streaming allows you to turn TikTok horizontally and watch the stream full screen. So TikTok is making moves. I can't say that I would ever be a TikTok streamer, but who the fuck knows? It's my largest platform. Why the fuck wouldn't I give it a shot? For years, people have been saying Twitch is dying. Twitch is dead. Twitch is dying. Somebody else, Mixer's coming along. Facebook's coming along. Caffeine's here. Trovo's here. Whatever. This is the first time. D-Live, yeah. This is the first time where I have a small shimmer of fear that we might be near the downfall of Twitch. Now, I'm not going to say the death of Twitch, but I'm going to say that I kind of feel like we might be nearing a small little dip in something, whether that's there's a little bit of a market share that gets over to YouTube and then things swing back around because Twitch makes some major changes. But I definitely, this is the first time in the 8 years that I've been streaming where I finally believe that we're starting to feel a little bit of a downfall here. And I don't really know what that means. It makes me sad because I've been on this platform for that long, but something's different. And I think it's an amalgamation of all of the bad things that have been happening with like these rumors, with all of the core people at Twitch, like it's working at Twitch now gone, like all of the core people that started that company and like were with it in its infant years are now gone in other companies. Like all the bad news that we've heard out of like boardrooms with like Emmett Shear and all this shit. Like I've been able to put all of that aside, but for whatever reason, now I'm starting to feel like, man, maybe this is the turning point where things start to change, either for better or for worse. I'm not really sure which way it's going to go.
All I'm gonna say is, Twitch does have a few things in the pipeline. I can't say anything more because NDAs, but they do have some really good things that, if they implement, can really cause a positive change on this platform. I can't say anything beyond that.
Cool.
But they are working on shit. I will tell you that. And I'm hopeful that I get to participate in some future testing of some of the stuff they're working on. Because I think that they have, at least I can say this, they got their mind in the right place. Like, I do think that they are trying to move forward and offer things on Twitch that you can't find in other places. So I can at least tell you that they are definitely working on those things. But are they out there yet? No. And that doesn't help when you're dealing with all this other shit. So
Right.
I get it.
Yeah, what I'll say in relation to that, obviously, like I'm closely connected with Twitch, and I have a lot of visibility into stuff, and I don't know a lot of what's going on. I'm really, dug deep into the content that we're producing. We're doing more and more and more, so I'm excited about that. The one so outside of that, my personal opinion, and I know how I felt about Twitch going in, like before I ever worked with them or around that space. So I knew how I felt about Twitch, and I've always actively communicated that very openly. Um, the one thing that I'll say that is definitely true is that there are hundreds of examples in the world, if not thousands, of gold rush cities where as soon as the gold is gone, the city dies, the
Mhm.
town dies, and it disappears. Um, look, I think that that's indicative. So if you take away the potential for people to make money in that gold rush, right, that happened with Fortnite and that big growth of and that boom of Twitch. Twitch blew up and expanded and expanded and it changed and it needed to adapt. And
I just
we
want to
all knew
teach
that.
you something historically right now. Did you know what the historical term for those gold rush towns that are no longer are called?
Abandoned.
They're called Hell Dorados.
Hell Dorados.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like the city of gold, El Dorado. Add the hell to it. They're Hell Dorados.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
so I think that always scares me, right? I think that there's a ton of growth, and whenever there's growth, they have to figure out how to like keep the thing alive or like keep position the thing to remain as it was, but also like adapt to the future and add more features and
yeah.
change. Like we've seen Instagram start to do a lot of that over the past few years, and they've kind of lost their way where it's like they just start copying and pasting everything that everyone else is doing. So I'm happy that we haven't seen Twitch just start like stealing every other idea from every platform and instituting that stuff. They kind of stayed true. Um, I hope that the revenue stuff, there's more reasoning behind it. And if it does happen, I hope that it doesn't happen. But it would be, obviously there's reasons for everything. Um, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, there's going to have to be some sort of adaptation. I think the where a lot of this feeling comes from, and for me, previous to working there, like uh, a lot of my feeling of uncertainty was because Twitch is bad at communicating. They're
So
awful
fucking
at
bad.
communicating. Maybe the worst company that like from a third party that I've seen that has this scale that like is communicating to their audience. I just don't think that they do a good enough job of exciting people about like there's so many features that are dropped that are amazing on Twitch and they just kind of like, oh hey, here's this by the way, here's this how this works. Like remember Blizzard whenever they come out with a new expansion, they'd bring everyone into a huge arena and they'd have moving cameras and flying jib cranes and be like, and here's the new expansion and the whole crowd would go wild or they're like, here's Overwatch, right? And then everyone gets all hyped up.
Yep.
I don't think that I've ever seen Twitch do like any sort of like grouping of all the new released products at one certain time of like here's where the platform's going, here's where everything's at, here's like all of the new features that we're unloading and doing like a
Mhm.
big like release and yeah, surprise everyone, here's how sick this thing is. I think that they regularly just kind of like roll things out and just be like, oh okay cool, this is a new feature, this is now what exists, try this out, see how this works. And they're almost like, hey, like check this thing out guys, see, let us know how you feel about it and get back to us, rather than just like blowing everything up and being like, this is new, this is new, this is new, exciting, new 500 megabyte of storage, right? Like every single iPhone release, like they have like a big crowd of
My
people all sitting in an
God.
auditorium. I feel like that's needed. I feel like hyping stuff up because the stuff that's coming out and the stuff that has been coming out is awesome. Like there's a lot of great features. They just don't get us excited about it. As like as a someone from the outside as well. Like I don't get excited because the communication isn't exciting.
Yep.
Like I want someone coming out and being like, guys, let's go. Like we've got this new product. We got all this cool shit that's happening. Check this out. Let's talk through this. Like, here's all the new features. We're all, these are some great things. Get out there and get streaming.
Yep.
That doesn't happen. I don't think that there's like that hype communication or like that hype man that comes out and pitches that stuff.
No, not at
So-
all. And I'm a little bit biased, and obviously this is a new product, but that is one thing that I think that Beacon has done really, really well is they have
Mhm.
constant communication with their player base, and they are constantly like they hype up the releases, they put a lot of time into their announcements, and then they are communicating with the community through and through. And that's just, it's been super refreshing to see. And I think, Elgato does a really great job of that too, right? Of course, many people would say overhyped when it comes to Elgato, but hey, it is what it is. Do you think that we are ever going to reach a point where streaming on Twitch can be your main source of income?
Yeah, it already exists. It's been happening for the past 5 years.
But wait, we just got the revenue from streaming can be for the majority of people, not the minority.
That's never going to be the case for anything ever. There's nothing that exists in the world where a majority of people can make a living wage at doing that thing.
YouTube. There's plenty of YouTubers that all they do is YouTube.
A majority of YouTubers are making a living wage doing
Not
YouTube.
a majority, but a larger portion than people who are streaming on Twitch.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
just the ad revenue that's on YouTube is miles better than what you can get on Twitch. Like, people can make living wages on just the ad revenue alone, not including the super followers, super subscribers, whatever they are.
I think YouTube has way better systems for ad revenue and for delivering ads and just in general. Right?
So
I think that there was something. Yeah.
That's my question: do you think Twitch could be YouTube in that aspect?
Can they beat them?
No, can they
really
be can
they be them?
Yeah.
They just need to build some good systems, right? Like I think that right now, if I remember correctly, there was no way for like this happened. There was an article that came out a while ago on this, but Twitch, I think it was Devin Nash that was covering it. Twitch didn't have a way to deliver ads to like specific users. So I guess that if there's an ad on the platform, it gets delivered to everybody in that region.
There's no
they don't have a way to
targeting.
be like, knackers can show this ad unless it's like you're 18 plus or whatever. But I don't think that there's any sort of differentiation between your channel and Jimmy's channel. I don't think. But
Okay.
I'm also unsure. That's what I heard a long time ago. So they definitely need, like, YouTube has a billion ways to deliver ads, and we saw like the adpocalypse happen where there was a lot more sensitivity to people getting flagged for not being able to obtain revenue on their videos. But basically what I'm implying is that there's nowhere in the world that there's a system that works for people there's a job that everyone can do and everyone can make money at.
True.
Twitch already exists Twitch is already extremely fruitful for many people, right? It's not a majority. It'll never be a majority. You can make money on Twitch, right? Like, I make money on Twitch, but if I was going to compare it to like hours invested, as a streamer, if I was going to compare it to hours invested versus payout, it would be really bad, be fairly poor. Like, I could go get any job and invest the same amount of time. Am I going to have as much fun? Probably not. But yeah, to think that like, I think that a lot of people are like, oh, I want to start streaming on Twitch because I've heard that you can make a ton of money there. I want to start making YouTube videos because I've heard that you can make a ton of money there. A lot of people go into it and then they realize that there's a lot more to it, and
Right.
it takes a lot of time and effort to grow and a lot of luck to be able to get noticed and to get your name out there, or your videos found or whatever it might be. So yeah, I think that it's like a far out thinking to think that there's any platform that'll exist where a majority of people will make money doing that thing. You know, there's oh, look at this.
God damn it, Jimmy.
There's always cases like TikTok where the first people to get in, there's like a certain amount of investment where they're getting paid for their ad revenue. And then there's a huge influx of people that hear about that want to start doing that same thing. And then they realize that it's not as easy as it seems.
Absolutely. Yep. Jimmy, real quick, the question I asked Bishop that I'll have you ask you, and then we can kind of wrap this up. Do you think that Twitch will become a place where streamers can make the majority of their living wage or above revenue on Twitch? Kind of like how there's a very, very large portion of YouTubers that only make YouTube content and they make pretty good money. Whereas Twitch, it's like the top 0.001% of streamers are the only ones making a living wage or above. Do you see in the future of Twitch, regardless of what you know about things that are coming, do you think Twitch can ever be that platform where you can make a living wage just being a streamer on the platform without streaming for 300 hours a month?
Yes, but there's a caveat to that. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do right now, which is augment what I make on Twitch and by streaming through other companies. Like, once you hit that partnership, you have to reach out. You have to get affiliated. You've got to do sponsored streams and to make that extra income per month. You know, I do like a couple sponsored streams a month where companies will pay me to play video games for just 2 hours, and I get that sponsored. And I mean, honestly, yeah. Some of the games have I played, have I not cared for that much? Yeah. But when I'm getting paid on top of what you may already, whatever revenue you may make on Twitch, on top of that, you pull that in there too. Those are the ways that you can make it work. You have to find you have to have multiple revenue streams. You know, and that's really it. And you can't just depend on Twitch to do it. It's not a platform that you can just depend on that. So it's a great platform to grow from, but in 2022 and beyond, I don't see anything changing where, unless you are literally the top 0.001%, you're not going to make a living. I mean, look at me. I'm not huge, but I have a decent following and a decent whatever. And like I told you, I just shared you guys. I have been averaging over 500 subs a month for a while, and that only counts to a little less than $1,200, man. That's not a lot of money.
No.
It's not, I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money if you're looking at trying to be full time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, if I was full time, sure, I would bring that number up. But at the same time, dude, it's like it wouldn't be. I don't see how it would be enough to cover the taxes you got to take out, health insurance, because Twitch doesn't cover any of that shit. You're just a contract employee. So if you need any sort of health insurance, whatever, you got to cover that all on your own, unless you actually work for Twitch.
Yep.
Like some sons of bitches.
Yeah. Exact. And look, again, that's 1,300 gross, right? Then net, you're thinking
that's not
8.
Then you got to pay some of that in taxes at the end of the year.
Yep, 850, and then you got to pay for that insurance, right?
Wait, that's pre-tax?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh fuck! So you're making 15 grand a year streaming, technically?
No. I that's not counting the bits and the other stuff.
Got it.
Just
Yeah,
subs.
So
but
that's just
from the
sub
sub revenue.
Yeah.
From the sub revenue.
Which is a good, like, for something that you're doing because you love it, is not bad, right? Like
Oh,
a
I'm
hobby
not.
that pays
It's
that
helped
much
me.
is-
I mean, it paid for this. Honestly, if I you know what's crazy?
Listen how he's talking about you, Jimmy Chat, and how ungrateful this bastard is.
What a bitch.
Ungrateful bastard.
If my wife and I hadn't paid for this Stream Shack this last year and did all this, I would have ended up owing money to the IRS.
Oh, because of all the deductions you took from
Yeah.
Like this
You're building a
actually
business,
helped.
man.
This basically was almost. It's not totally free, but it was kind of free.
Yeah.
In a way, you know, because it was just a tax write-off. All this
The
shit
tax
that
write-off, the government pays for it.
the government, fuck those guys,
Dude,
man.
that's actually a fucking line from Schitt's Creek, Bishop, that you just okay, you knew that. You knew that?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
I heard it. It was a TikTok sound as well.
Yeah,
Who
it's
pays
write
for
it
that?
off.
The government pays for it.
Who pays for it?
Who pays for it? It's a write-off. The government.
You write it off.
So I looked. I wanted to know, just because you brought up YouTube and like you said that there's a lot of people that are making money, which is true. YouTube has way more channels, right? And
right.
The other thing to keep in mind is that any platform that something just froze. My Chrome just froze. I'm still here. Yeah. Yeah, we're still here. Okay. Any platform that has evergreen content where like people can show up at any point. Oh, Knacker's frozen. I like what you're doing here.
Damn
You're
it,
so
my
still.
dick butt sign is rotating. So
you were so still, man. You were so still. So any platform that has evergreen content where people can find it at any point, right? And, you know, like you can post a video on YouTube and it could do terribly for 10 years, and then all of a sudden it becomes viral and it gets millions of views. That can happen. Twitch, that can't happen, right? Like you could have a live stream and once it's over, if you didn't capture that moment, it's dead forever, right? Like if you don't stream, like my stream, no one's going to go back and watch my VODs. No one's going to sit and watch through that stuff. And there's no potential for me to grow if I'm not actively doing the thing. You have to babysit it, right?
Right.
So YouTube has a much more of potential for growth. Same thing with TikTok. There's a virality to it, right? So looking at YouTube, this is from Alan Spicer, who's a YouTube certified expert. This is his website. So I don't know how accurate this data is, just throwing it out there. So at the time of writing, there's 31 million YouTube channels. And basically he goes on to say that in order to get YouTube monetization, you have to be a part of YouTube's program, which basically has the threshold of 4,000 hours watch time and 1,000 subscribers, right? He found out that there are Ask Wonder did a query on this, and they basically found that there are only 80,000 channels with over 1,000 subscribers. So with the statistics, that's basically saying that 0.25% of all YouTube channels are making at least $50 a month. 0.25.
There's no way that there's only 80,000 channels north of 1,000 subscribers. There's no way.
I thought that was here. I'll post the link of this in chat just so people can take a look. I didn't read through it completely.
Alan Spicer.
But those statistics. He also goes on to say, like, however, according to Ask Wonder, the number of YouTube channels with over 1,000 subscribers is less than 80,000. Now, granted, these numbers are a little rough around the edges, but the disparity is clear, even if you allow for a substantial margin for error. So I think basically what I'm trying to imply is that any platform, it's less than I would say it's less than 5% of all users on any platform are actually making any sort of money at all.
Right. And
Right?
that's
it's like this
$50, not a living wage.
Yeah, that's $50.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Twitch, right? Like Jimmy is in top 9, and he's probably higher on that list now than he was but he was 9,044.
When it was released, I was 9,044. Now I'm at least 8,725.
Yeah.
He's climbing the leaderboard. But even looking at that, like less than 10,000 people on Twitch are making
A living wage.
but that's not even a living wage. Like $1,000 a month, I wouldn't consider that. That's like hardly paying rent anywhere in the United States.
Especially right now,
Like
with the
you get a
inflation.
quarter of a fucking bedroom in most cities for $1,000. So yeah, I think that the overall story here is that a lot of people came into the gold rush and they're like, hey, I heard that I could go and pan for gold and I'll make millions of dollars. I'll become rich. They all funnel into those cities hoping that that's the case. They go out and they figure out that the stream is very thin, especially as there's thousands of other people. What do they call it? Sifting for
Panning?
panning for gold. That's exactly what happens on every single platform, right? They
Can I
find a
tell you
stream of a ton
something
of
that
gold.
is 100% historically relevant to what you're saying right now, to what actually
100%, yeah.
happened? So you're talking about the gold rush that happened into California in the middle of the 19th century. And the reality of the situation is the majority of the people that went there to try and get rich quick, like you just said, they didn't end up making much money. In fact, the majority of people who made money were the corporations and the larger businesses that had the mining equipment that they could blast away and get the gold. But you know who did make a lot of money during the gold rush is all the people that were selling to the gold rush miners and panners. You look at all the industry that is bumped up because of Twitch. All the streamer equipment from tech support, all the streamers. Think of all that industry that's been created as a result of the live streaming industry.
IKEA.
Yep.
What has IKEA
Those
sales
people
done?
are making a living off of Twitch streamers, man. A company like Artesian Builds, which is a shitty ass company, which is now fucking bankrupt. That company would have never existed if it wasn't for Twitch.
I bet they wish they could Weewo.
That's the point I'm trying to make. This is it's no different. The majority of people that jumped onto Twitch were like, hey, I'm going to get in. I'm going to make my money. I'm going to grow. And yeah, do some people make some money? Absolutely.
Yep.
Do the majority? No. Most of them, they'll go to the platform. They might spend some time on it, realize maybe it's not for them, or they're on it for several years and never really make any change to what they're doing. Whatever, for whatever reason. The majority of people who start live streaming just don't stay with it. But the people who ended up prospering were those that are in support of the streamers, just like those who prospered during the gold rush were in support of those prospectors, right? They supplied the things that they needed.
The drugstore that was in the corner where all these guys lived. The Wells Fargo, the companies that surrounded how to get your money safely out of the gold rush cities. You know, like and I think that's indicative. Like history repeats itself consistently. People see other people with these wild stories of success, and they're like, "Hey, I can do that. I can go out and do that." And sure, if you like, there's success stories of like people going and moving to LA and becoming famous. Right? Yeah. It's like, oh, I can become a multi-million-dollar actor, right? How many people move to LA and never see a big budget movie? Like this is like consistent with like human psychology. Every single platform that has ever existed where there's some sort of monetary gain, people move in. Every single gold, or every single river that's had gold, people move in. They realize that there's these stories are a little bit more far fetched, and the companies surrounding those things tend to make money. But there are success stories of people that start thinking outside of the box. Like you might go to a basketball game and be like, wow, look at all the seats that they're selling. They're selling so many tickets. I should start selling those tickets too. And you start scalping tickets. You make a couple $100. You're like, wow, that was great. But you look over and you see this guy selling water bottles, right? For the long lines of people standing in the heat. And it's like, wow, that guy just saw a bunch of people that were buying tickets and waiting in line for this thing. And he saw an opportunity to sell them something else, right? While they were waiting in that line.
Yep.
And that's what you have to do. You have to be able to think outside of the box and find ways to make yourself more valuable than just copying what someone else did to get
You
successful.
have to meet a need. You have to meet some type of need. And that is what is the hardest thing for any content creator to figure out. What hole are you going to fill?
Yes. Oh, poor Discord.
I can fill all kinds of holes, baby.
We know you can, Big Daddy.
No, thank you.
All right, to wrap this conversation up, there's just 4 other updates that are coming to Twitch. One, the Twitch friends list is going away. They are officially getting rid of Twitch friendships on Twitch, which again was like one of the most useless features on the platform. I get Twitch friend requests from people all the time, and like I don't even use it for me. I don't even use it.
You know what's bullshit about it? What I've accidentally sent people friend requests because it's right next to something else.
Yep, the notification tab.
Like I would accidentally send people friend requests, and it was so embarrassing because I wasn't even trying to. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't. Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, I don't think I ever used it. I think I had some foreign people, like people from Holland, that would send me friend requests whenever I'd stream Rainbow Six Siege, and that would be it. It would be like someone that popped into my stream once. They'd send me a friend request, and I was like,
yeah.
Okay, dude.
You just want to see what I'm coming over when I'm not streaming
you
on
want to
Twitch.
see who I'm watching. You want to see what I'm doing.
Next up, Twitch also adding new sub badges for gifted subs. So these are gifted subs that go all the way up to 5,000, I believe. Yeah, anywhere from 650 gifted to 5,000 gifted. And by the way, if you're curious, 5,000 gifted subs is $25,000.
They changed the icons for gifted subs. Did you notice that?
I did. Yep.
They just changed it like a day or two ago. It fucking threw me because it literally happened like midstream for me. Like it was one thing, and then it was the other, and then I literally stopped midstream. I was just staring at my like.
Yeah.
Like it just threw me. I'm like, wait, why did that change?
Change.
Whatever. It all worked out.
Also getting added is a badge for your artists. So if you want to assign artist badges to your creators, people who made Twitch channel art or emotes or anything for you, you can assign them, which, wow, thanks. It should have been here since 2013, you fucking scumbags. Not really. This is awesome. Great addition. And then in addition, I actually don't know if this one it was just teased or if this is official, but there are super cheers that are going to be coming out pretty soon as well. So from a tweet from Zach Bussin, Twitch is testing a new cheering system via direct purchases akin to YouTube Super Chats. The split is 80% to the creator, testing only in the US. However, this kind of got broken down to show that the split wasn't any better. So this was a hypothetical split. If someone super cheers $1 and pays Twitch with PayPal fees roughly would be 52 cents, leaving 48 cents left. The 80-20 split comes in, so the streamer would get just over 38 cents, which is a 61% capital loss. So in comparison to if you were just to do it with bits, let's see, bit cost. So yeah, it's a little bit more loss than it would be if it was just bits. So at a different scale, if the super cheer was $100 via PayPal fees are $4, leaving $96 left over. After the 80-20 split, the streamer would get $76 with only a 23% capital loss. So as the the value amount gets larger and larger, the loss is less and less. But then again, $100 tips are not the norm when it comes to bits and tips on the platform. So it's kind of hard
You gotta
to
pay for the pan, man. You gotta pay for the pan.
Yes, you do. So yeah, this is something that could be hitting us as well. Yeah, super cheers as they call them. Which
Sorry, I was dealing with bullshit. Don't mind me.
Super cheers.
No worries. So those are also some updates that are going to be coming down the roof, coming down the road, not the roof. If somebody's coming down your roof, you got a real fucking problem.
Or it's on fire.
That is going to be it for this episode of Crocs and Hot Pockets, episode 177. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with all of us on this beautiful day. We hope we had a great time. Thank you for sticking through all of the fucking technical difficulties at the beginning of the stream. I've never had Chrome crash on me with Riverside over and over and over again. But hey, we're here. We made it. Thanks for sticking through it. And if you didn't catch all of the episode, the recordings will be up sometimes on Tuesday. The audio version and the video version will both be up on their respective platforms. Before we go, let's have both of these gentlemen go through their social medias where you guys can find them online, what kind of content creation schedule they have coming up, and we will close this bitch out. So, Bishop, we'll start with you, buddy.
You can find me on Twitch at BishopGP, or you can find me on Twitter where I'm actually live at Bishop was here. That's it. That's where I don't produce content very often. Or you can find me producing some stuff on Twitch Rivals. If you ever check that show out, I do some graphic stuff on there. So feel free to check those shows out. They're pretty sweet.
My name is Jimbles or Jimmy. You can find me at twitch.tv/MiddleAgedStream. Also that on TikTok or MiddleAgedStream on TikTok, MiddleAgedStream without the D on Twitter. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to take a couple days off. But I am going to be back on Wednesday to celebrate May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. But also to celebrate 1 year as a Twitch partner because I hit it May 3rd of last year. So I'll celebrate that. It won't be any big thing, but it'll be fun to celebrate that on Star Wars Day and 1 year as a Twitch partner. So, yeah, that's all I got coming up this week.
It's been a year already. Holy
Isn't that
shit.
crazy?
I feel like that just happened.
I know.
Damn.
A year.
That's fucked up. You know,
I know.
I was just I just tweeted a picture today of me like cleaning out my sauce and condiments cabinet and how almost all of them have expiration dates of 2020. Like almost all of them.
Yeah.
It's the void years.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Yeah.
So if you haven't cleaned out your sauces, like your oyster sauce and your soy sauce and your hot sauces, you might want to go and check those expiration dates because they're almost most likely
Oh my God.
dead inside. Hi, my name is Knackers. You guys can find me on this very channel as you are right now. I'm here Wednesdays and Sundays for the podcast, and we do our tech streams on Wednesdays. I haven't uploaded a YouTube video in 2 months because it sucks. Not it sucks. It's hard, and sometimes it also sucks. But find me on TikTok, all right? I'm on TikTok every single day. That's where I've been producing the most content. And, of course, if you want to listen to a little bitch whine on Twitter about technology, I'm also on Twitter if you guys want to find me there.
I have
Yes.
a question for you. Between TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, which one do you have the most revenue on?
Oh, Twitch for sure.
Is it significantly Twitch?
There is no revenue in YouTube and TikTok. I'll put it that way.
But like for you, that's a misnomer because the majority of your revenue comes from your private stuff you do and you show it on your platforms. Like you're making money through that's the majority of your income as a content creator.
Thing when you spread
Companies paying you money to promote their products is a bigger income than you make on live stream.
So the Beacon content that I recorded for their channel is the only content that I've ever been paid for.
What?
You need a different manager, man.
Dude, you needed a better manager.
You can't
you are not getting paid nearly enough.
You can't get paid to review products. That muddies the waters.
Yes, you can.
No, you
just
can.
have to lie about
but
it.
I don't. Right, exactly.
Just gotta lie to your audience. Fuck them, dude. They don't know shit, man.
I don't require payment
head,
to review products. That's not how we do it.
Good.
Yeah, shove it right up your anus. I don't know. I'm just saying you
Wait,
should
raise both
find
your hands and say that. Are you doing
You gotta
this?
find ways to make knackers more money.
Yeah.
Yo, does anyone know how to make meth?
Yes, actually.
Oh,
I've watched a show on.
I heard we could watch. I think if you watch Breaking Bad enough times, you can learn how to make meth.
The dream is for YouTube and TikTok to become additional revenue streams that doesn't involve taking money for reviews or direct revenue from the community.
That's smart.
I've been talking to a couple people that have sizable TikTok channels or accounts, and the rates for which they are able to charge just to have products show up is insane. Like, there is not directly from TikTok, but from companies that are willing to pay for you to use products.
Because you're, and I think that's probably your next thing is promoting products through there. And yeah,
Have you ever seen
Smart.
that Frankie Tech where he does like top 10 tech under like 20 bucks?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever seen that guy Frankie something on
Oh
YouTube?
wait, no,
Frank-
you're talking about
Frank
Random Frank P.
Yeah, Random Frank P.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where you need to go, man.
But that's the thing too, is I don't want to become a tech reviewer. Like, that's not what I want to do.
He doesn't review shit though, does he? I think
Oh
he
my
just
God,
says, hey,
yeah.
here's some 10 cool things that you could take a look
That's
at. I don't
one
think
of
he
his
really gives
series.
you,
That's
Yeah.
all he does is tech reviews. Tech
that's what
reviews
you
and
gotta
things
do, though.
alongside that.
Gotta-
Go with the
Well,
program.
I'm
Go
gonna
with the
take over your
program, Bishop.
management.
Jeez, learn what you're talking about before you bring it up.
Let
Jesus Christ.
me be your manager for like 2 months. Let me just see how that goes.
I can take it. Are you working for free? Because I mean, you
Sure.
just heard what my
I'll do it
revenue
for
is.
revenue. I'll do it for a revenue split.
Actually, he's going to
70-30.
pay you to be his manager.
70-30. Or no, 50-50.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
It was 70-30. No,
He's
my rates
paying
have
you
changed now.
50-50.
I was 70-30, but I'm changing it now to 50-50. I just renounced this.
I was
is my
getting
new thing.
0-100 before. Now I'm going to this 50-50 bullshit.
Yeah.
And out comes the
But
I have a
Butterfinger.
refrigerated Butterfinger.
Ooh.
Deep throat it. Shove it as
Man.
deep as it goes right now.
Anyways, thanks for joining us here on the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Knackers, and I appreciate Jimmy and BishopGP for joining me today. It's been a wonderful podcast. We love you. God bless you. Papa bless. Make sure you give your kittens and dogs smoochies, and we'll see you next time in 6 months from now.
Have a good night, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.